Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you how to do an oil change on the Peugeot 206 1.4 litre I. For that you'll need some oil, 3 litres, plus 0.3 litres for the oil filter. You'll need a washer as well for the oil drain plug, one of these square keys for the plug, a 27mm ratchet for the oil filter, and eventually some brake cleaner to clean that up. Also a tub, of course, and an empty container to collect the old oil. Alright, first thing you're going to do is make your engine run so that the oil heats up a little bit, and it will come out better if it's hot, but not too hot. Don't let it run for 20 minutes, just a little bit so it's warm. And you're gonna undo the drain plug, and that's the part where you don't want it to be too hot, otherwise you'll burn your hands. Try and not make it drop in the tub. And we're just gonna let it empty itself slowly, as much as possible, until it drips, before we put it back in with the new washer. Once you've opened the drain plug, you can open the filling cap. You don't have to do it first, it's just going to make the oil come out even faster. We don't need that, so just take it, don't take it off, just leave it on like that. And we're going to just let it really drip as much oil as possible. Alright, so we're going to change the oil filter now, which is down here. It's better if you have a long extender, it's easier to get it. So just untighten it. It has an O-ring like that, that's why it's going to be a little bit tight until the O-ring comes out. Okay, now it's coming out easy. I'm going to finish it by hand. If you have something like this, it's good, so you can just put it in once you've taken it out. As you can see in the filter housing, there is still some dirty oil, so we want to take out as much as possible. So I'm going to use a oil syringe like that and try and pump it out as much. I don't think, well, you don't have to do that, it's not a lot of oil, but it's better to always have as much as possible new oil. It's not ideal, but we're going to try and take out as much of that used up oil as possible and before putting the new filter in. And I just finished it up with an old cloth, so it's pretty clean. So now we're going to change the toric joint on the oil filter cap and replace the oil filter. For the filter, just pull it. For the toric joint, with a small screwdriver, take it out. Put the new one on. Make sure it has some oil on it. I'm just going to clean this up a bit, but then this has to be slightly greased, otherwise it can dry up and stick in the housing and be hard to take out next time, or even leak. And then just put the new filter on. Either side's good. Now we're going to just screw it on by hand as much as we can and tighten it slightly in the end with the key if necessary. When there's a toric joint like that, you don't have to over tighten things. That's the point of the joint. Okay, now you'll feel when you're coming to the end, and then just slightly put it in pressure, and that's enough. Alright, so now we're going to put back on the drain plug with its new washer, and then we're going to fill with the new oil. Before putting back the drain plug, we're going to change the washer. So this is one of these that has a rubber part on the center. And then just screw it back in. Screw it by hand first. As you can see, it's slightly dripping, so yeah, that's good enough. Screw it on by hand. And only in the end you're going to use the key to tighten it. Here you have to be very careful not to tighten it too much. Just, yeah, put in pressure, but don't overdo it, because if you ruin the screw, you're good to change all this part. We're going to clean it up nicely so that we can see after, when we'll put the engine on, to see if it's not leaking here. So make sure it's nice and clean. We're going to fill 3.3 liters of oil. Now this is 5W40. If you live in a hot climate, you can use 1040. It will be good enough. But 540 is a very good oil. So better to put not enough, like 3 liters, and then add some more, rather than put too much and have to drain some out. When you think you've put approximately the right amount, put the filler cap back on. We're going to make the engine run for a few minutes and then let it at a standstill until the oil really goes back down, and at that time, like half an hour later, you will be able to check on this. If you do it right away, you're not going to have the right value, because the oil is not all the way at the bottom. Once the engine is running, you're going to check here on the side of the oil filter if nothing's seeping out. You're going to check here as well to see if there's no leaks, and if you can see the washer nice and shiny and there's nothing dripping, it means it's good. Now you're going to want to reset your service light. So put the contact. Here you can see there was the small wrench telling us that we had to do the oil change. Now it's saying that the level is full. So to make the reset, I'm going to turn off the key, press the reset button, turn it on once to the second position, and now you can see the countdown. Just wait till it gets to 0. Okay, now you can remove your finger, and if you turn it off and turn it back on, it's going to say next maintenance in 30,000 kilometers. So you're good to go for, I wouldn't say 30,000, I'd say go for 15, and if the car has more kilometers, just do it every 10,000 k's, it will be good. And if you want to clean up the oil that's spilled out of the filter, you can use brake cleaner and get all the parts that were too oily and difficult to clean with a cloth. You can just spray that on. Alright, so you're done. You see it wasn't really hard. Anyone can do that. So don't hesitate to do it yourself, and see you next time.